Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Good to see a few of you in chat already. 190 Average Bowler has already written, I have it downloaded already. We're talking about the subject of today's stream. I love it. Getting ready to load it up soon and write something too. That's very good to hear. That is exactly what we were hoping for, that lots of people would download the thing in question, which we're about to talk about, and write some music. That's what we're here for every week, and that's what we're here for all the time, 24/7 really, for musicians and composers. And we're musicians and composers ourselves, and we're very, very excited about the subject of today's stream. That is Glade, our new library, available at no cost to you guys. You can go and download it today. Right now, it's available for you. Glade, it's a beautiful library, and we're going to write something with it today. I'm planning on using just Glade. In fact, I really don't even want to use any outboard effects or any EQs or reverbs. I just want to use as much as I can inside Glade. It's a very, very, very powerful library. And as I say, it's available for you guys to go and download and write with it. We've been wanting to create something that you guys can have for no cost for a long time. We finally got it out there. It's taken a lot of work. The team has been working very hard on it, and yeah, it's so great to have it out. And I've already heard a few things that some of you guys have made. Just incredible. It's everything that we love about doing this job, you know, just trying to give as many tools as we can to composers and seeing what they do with it, and hearing other people's music, and just, you know, remembering it's a big wide world out there full of great composers doing their thing. Who have we got here? We've got Andrew Stackhouse Music saying hello. Shabello saying excited to see what this does. Me too. Well, I mean, I know what it does, but, you know, I'm excited. I haven't actually written that much with Glade. I've done a small demo for it, and I've certainly looked into the library, but I'm still learning it too. So this is going to be super exciting. Kai Music says Tom was vibing in the trailer. Now it's Adam's turn. I'm not going to be able to do a Tom. I can't rock the mustache, and, well, I can't rock the hair full stop, but I certainly can't rock the mustache either. So it's not going to be as slick as Tom. And Tom did an incredible demo as well. If you guys haven't heard it, go check it out. But we're going to have some fun. There's no pressure with this one today. We're just going to have fun. At the end of the day, Glade, if you're a pro, it's going to be useful. If you're an amateur, it's going to be useful. If you're a hobbyist, if you just want to download something and have a go at writing music, and you don't do it much, but you just want to, you know, it's useful for you guys as well. So today is not about trying to create anything in particular. It's just about having fun, because I think it's something we lose sight of. You know, there's so many people that want to get into music professionally, totally understand why it's a great way of life. But I think that, you know, it's equally important that we have people out there just having fun and making music with the tools that are available. And we have one very powerful new tool available for you guys. Antonio says, hey, hi. Alex says hi as well. Hi, Brandon's here. Thanks for joining us, Brandon. Great to be here. I'm off work, so glad I could stop in. Haven't had a chance to download Glade, but I can't wait. Definitely download it as soon as you can. And yeah, if you make anything with it, show us in the Discord. You know, mention us on YouTube. If you put a video on YouTube, we'll be listening to as much as we possibly can. Andrew P. Roberts says, play with it yesterday. It's genuinely so good. Strings, whoop, and percussion sound so good. Thank you very much. I agree. I'm obviously a bit biased, but genuinely I agree. When I first heard the library, because I wasn't intimately involved in the recording and all that of it when it first came through, it's always that great thing. It's one of the highlights of being able to work with a dev team and for a great dev company, is like as kind of composer and content creator and things, you sort of hear you get the library through, and it's almost like goosebumps. You're so excited just to like hear how it all works. And as soon as I heard this, I was like, we're on to a winner. This is so cool. Hey, Ollie's in. That's great. And he's asking who's enjoying Glade, so let us know if you're enjoying it. Donato says, looking forward to this. Let's nerd out. Exactly. Let's nerd out. And like I said, we're not shooting for anything today. We're just going to write 20, 30, 40 seconds of music. We're going to see what happens. I'm going to get some input from you guys as well. And then we're going to see what we come up with. This doesn't have to be the best thing in the world. We're just going to have fun. I think it's really, really important to sometimes just spend an hour or two and have fun. Remember why we want to get into music in the first place, right? It's to have fun. You get these instruments, you get to do whatever you want with them. Haven't downloaded it yet? No worries. I'm sure you get right into it. Are the strings chamber sized? Sounds more intimate than Nucleus. My understanding, I'm sure that Ollie and the others will put in, they're not chamber sized. They're quite a big section size, but I think they're played in such a way that gives a bit more of the intimate nature of those strings. And, you know, they really perform this very beautiful kind of performance approach. I prefer intimate strings personally. Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely, you know, different use cases of different things, but I love the sound of these strings, and I think it works well with the whole approach to the library. It's definitely a more, maybe not intimate, but, you know, it's a slightly kind of just more magical, I can't explain it really, but it's definitely not a big bombastic orchestra. It's just all about the kind of beauty and finding these incredible sounds. Also has an incredible sound design engine as well, so you can have a whole world to explore in terms of layering sounds up. We're going to look into a little bit of that. We probably won't cover everything about the library today. There's a walkthrough already. I'm sure there's going to be other videos and content that will help you guys explain what the library can do. Today we're going to focus on writing, and not even really writing, just kind of jamming and seeing what we come up with. But it's going to give you a chance to see what the library is all about and what it can do. Greetings from Netherlands. Thanks for this free library. No problem, Danny. Thank you for joining us, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, as we said, it's available, no costs. Go on the website. If you haven't got it already, go pick it up. And we'll talk a little bit about how it's all put together and what's available. As we said, we're going to write something, see what we can come up with. Antonio says, Glade is likely a new type of orchestral colors. Hope there's a possibility that the GUI UI gets updated to all libraries for some reasons. Yeah, I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the future, but we do listen to everything you guys are saying. So if you're enjoying the GUI, do let us know, because we always like to know if people, you know, are enjoying what they're seeing and using. Can't wait to throw these instruments in through Guitar Rig Pro. That sounds like a very good idea. I've also been excited about just, you know, exporting some of this stuff and doing a bunch of sound design. There's also a very powerful engine that we'll take a look at that you can use to do that in, you know, if you don't have all those kinds of plugins and things as well. Today, we're probably not going to do crazy amounts of sound design, but we'll definitely look at some of the presets, and we'll maybe do a little bit of customization on one or two of them as well. It's going to be such a fun stream. I think it is. I'm giving myself no pressure. If we end up writing 6 bars of music and it's half-baked, it's fine. We're just going to have fun. I'm going to try and get you guys involved as well. With a few things, and we're just sort of going to put together this stream bit by bit, and whatever we come up with at the end, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fine. It doesn't have to be brilliant. It just has to be us composers hanging out, having a good time, writing some music. It reminds me of being like in a band, you know, you just hang out with your mates, see what you come up with. If you come up with something great, brilliant. If you come up with something dreadful, that's fine. You hung out, you had a good time. And yeah, that's what we're going to do with Glade today. As we say, we'll keep telling you just in case you guys don't know. This is free for you guys. It's available, no cost. Go on the website, pick it up. We would love to hear what you do with it. We're super excited to see how people use this library, how they interpret all the sounds that they hear, what they can dream of doing with these sounds. Yeah, this is just all about why we love sample libraries and virtual instruments, and why we're in the game to see what people do with all these great sounds. It's more about exploring the sound. Yeah, it totally is. We're just going to riff. You know, it's like you pick up a guitar, you play a few chords, you just find something you like, and you just see what comes out. We're not trying to write anything that's going to set the world on fire, but maybe we'll come up with something nice. So I'm going to move over to our door, and we're going to sort of just get started. So here's the door. You guys can see all of that. Yep, here we are. So I've made a kind of little template here with pretty much everything that's in Glade. I'm just going to play these harps really quickly. Let me know if you can hear this. You should be able to hear that. That's my little sketch harp. I'm going to use that for some sketching today if I need to. And then we have pretty much every patch in the library, I think. Of course, there's lots of presets in our sound designer. So these designers, there's actually, I think, oh God, I don't know how many. There's a lot of presets. In fact, I do know how many because I wrote it down. But there's a lot to explore. So there's 80 plus of these designers that we could load up and dive into. We're not going to look at everything, but the rest of it is also constituting these instruments as well. So we have high strings, low strings, woodwinds. We got some harps. We got this beautiful combination of celeste, crotales, and marimba. We've got these two incredible boy vocalists, and then we've got these kind of world instruments here that we'll look into a bit. Some nice percussion, and then we've got, as I said, a whole world of sound design. Lots of presets for you guys to dig into, and you can make your own as well. If you have an idea of something you want to make, you can just load it up and make something. We'll probably use some presets today, but we might do some customization, and who knows, if we're missing a sound or we want to change one of the presets, we're going to change it. Here's my idea for today. This is how I think we're going to do this. I have no idea what I'm going to write, so that's why I'm giving myself no pressure, because sometimes I come on these streams and I've got a good idea of what I'm going to write, or I'm doing a mock-up and I've already done the piano sketch. Today, no idea. We're going to be here for about 2 hours. If I end up with 3 bars of half decent sounding stuff, that's fine. If we end up with a little piece, that's better, but we're just going to give ourselves no pressure. Here's what I think we should do. we should choose 3 numbers. I'm going to give you the range that we're going to choose from. I'm going to see in chat what we get, and we're going to use those presets. I've labeled every single preset numerically. I'm going to get you guys to give me 3 numbers, and we're going to choose those 3 numbers, and we're going to use those 3 presets in our piece. And we're going to use those 3 presets to sort of guide the kind of piece we think we're going to make. If we get something that's very dreamlike, we're going to head in that direction. If we get something that's a little bit more earthy or kind of organic sounding, we'll head in that direction. We're going to let these preset choices guide us. So here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do. I'm going to ask you to choose 3 numbers between 1 and 82. And the first 3 that we get, choose 1 each. First 3 that we get, we're going to load up, and those are going to be our presets. Okay, so we have 14. Let me just make a note of these. 14. We're going to have a listen to these together. Oh, Ollie's saying, excellent question. Glade Studio is exactly the same. Yes, I'm also going to speak a little bit about Glade and Glade Studio and the difference between these two. 51. And, oh, we've got 82. Sorry, Daniel, you're just slightly too late there. But maybe we'll look at 62 and 3 as well at some point. But we're going to choose those first 3. We've got some extra numbers coming in now. Oh, no. That's okay. We're going to choose the first 3, but we'll look at some others as well. So maybe I'll choose some of the other numbers that we've got here. I'm going to just write them down. What have we got? 51, 62. And look, maybe if we really need another preset, we'll choose from some of these numbers as well. So I'd, may end up coming back to some of these numbers. But here we go. Okay. First thing we'll do is we're going to just speak very quickly, because there's been a few questions I've noticed about the difference between Glade and Glade Studio. Is, one a paid library, one free? Is one a mini library or a light library, one a full library? No, it's pretty simple. They're exactly the same apart from one key difference. Let me just show you the high strings in Glade. So this is just Glade. And you're going to see that we have these 2 mixes, classic mix and modern mix, to choose from. And then in Glade Studio, I'm going to take the same high strings. You're going to see that we have a little bit more going on. We have some mic positions that you can choose from, and you can use our slider here in the basic panel or go to advanced, and you can choose your own custom mic mix. That's the only difference. The content's the same. There's no light or full version. They're both the same. It's just one has all the mic selections. If you like to choose your own mic positions and get a bit more into the kind of weeds with that stuff. If you have a smaller system, or you like a more lightweight setup, or you're really just happy with the classic and modern mixes, you can just choose the sort of Glade, not Glade Studio, but the Glade option. You can download both. They're both free. They come as one package with your serial numbers, but you can choose if you want one, if you want both, if one's going to be more useful than the other. But as I say, content's the same. It's just one has mic positions, one doesn't. So yeah, it's really up to you. I'm going to be using the Glade, not Glade Studio with the mic positions. I'm going to be using Glade today. I really love the classic and modern mixes. I think they're absolutely great for almost every situation. There would be some times where I may want to use mic positions, but that's usually if I'm really thinking about mixing or I'm blending libraries together. I'm not doing that today. We're just going to be writing. We're not going to be worrying too much about mixing or anything. We're just going to be working with what we got. So Glade is going to be more than enough, I think. Shabella says, and Studio is free. Yes, they come as a package. So essentially they're the same thing, but there's a Studio version and a Glade only version. I say Glade only, they're both Glade, but a Glade, just the classic and modern mixes, and then Glade Studio has those extra mic positions. Other than that, all the articulations are the same amount of instruments. There is sort of no catches or anything here. It's just whatever works for you. If you're working on a lighter weight computer, or you have a laptop setup, or you just prefer working with smaller, more nimble sort of setups, Glade may be good for you. If you really like getting in with the mic positions and making everything sound absolutely the way you want it to, maybe you want Glade Studio, but they're both available as one package. So, you're not having to choose, or you're not having to pay for one and get the other one for no cost. It's not like that. Everything's available for you guys at no cost. It's just whatever works. You can have both. I have both on here, but I'm just going to be using Glade today. I think for most purposes, that would do me personally. I love the sound of the classic and modern mixes. In fact, you're going to see the only thing I've changed today is I put classic mix on. They come as default with modern mix. You can easily put that on. I'll just show you. Here's our strings, classic. Modern's a little bit more hyped. A little bit sort of more present, if you like. I like the classic mix. Modern mix also sounds great, but I just like to start with the classic mix. And I can always do some mixing if I want to. If I really want to get that modern mix out of the box, I can just click here, change it up. It's as simple as that. So who else we got here? We've got damn other place to charge for all of this. Well, I'm glad you're thinking that there's a lot there. There really is a lot here. And as I said, we were just really keen to offer you guys something and yeah, have you be able to write with it and see what you come up with. So that's why Audience Imperia is the best. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you are all finding it so useful. And yeah, as I said, we're going to be really excited to see what you do. So hope that explains the difference between Glade and Glade Studio. As I say, other than these mic positions, there's really no difference. So you're not missing out if you only get one or the other, and you can get both, and you don't have to do anything extra to get both. So you can really think of it as one package, but you have these two options. And as I say, today we're going to use the slightly smaller option, but it's not smaller in terms of content, just a slightly more lightweight setup. But you're going to see it sounds awesome. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the classic and mono mixes. They are spot on. But if you ever want a bit more detail and a bit more kind of options, you can get those mic mixes as well. I see you have tree percussion. Amazing. We do have some tree percussion. Glad to see sample start back once again. Yes, sample start is here. Some of you may not know what sample start is. If you don't, we will sort of try and explain to you how it works, because I know that's sometimes a bit confusing for people. It's a really, really useful feature. And it's all based around sort of introducing latency to be able to match things up very easily. We'll go into it. As we're writing, we'll maybe go into it. Okay, let's take a look at our three presets. We have 14, 51, and 82. So here's our list. 14 is Daybreak Dew. So let's open this up and let's find it. Where are we? Oh, that's our high strings. It's not a good start. There we go. Designer. Daybreak Dew. So where is that? There it is. Let's have a little listen to what we've got. This is just out of the box. This is the preset as we have it. We have some macro functions here that may offer some additional controls. Yeah, there's some subtle stuff going on there. So we have some extra controls there. We want them. Okay, let's just make a note of that one. So that's really nice. That could be a good starting point. Then our next one was, where are we? 51. So this is Seasons Change. Okay, let's have a little look at this. Seasons Change. Okay, let me just close that down. So Seasons Change. Let's find this. Oh, I could see it there. Seasons Change. Let's have a listen to what we got here. Oh. 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 Nice. That is very cool. That's beautiful. I'm loving that one straight out of the box. And we have this great macro control. Listen to that. Just make sure it's not getting too late for you guys. Beautiful. Okay, that's going to be very cool to use. I don't know if I've actually heard all of these. So Seasons Change, very nice. And our final preset today is, what did we have? Where was it? 82. Village Bells. The last one on the list. So that should be the last preset. Let's just close that down. So we've got a nice easy view here. Village Bells. Okay, let's have a listen to what we have here. Beautiful. Again, macros changing a lot here. That intensity is really going up. These are some great choices. These are some very cool choices. Okay, let's just make a note of what that one is. That deep zoom, no pressure on writing, just chilling. That's exactly it. Hi, Gaz. Thank you. Donato says, love that sound. I agree. And Gaz says, that's exactly the type of stuff I'm looking for. We'll be downloading later for sure. I agree. It's really, really cool. These are so inspiring. And like I said, I haven't heard all these. So here's our three sounds. Daybreak Dew. Seasons Change. I mean, we could write a whole track with this. Job done. There we go. That's today's stream over. Thank you guys. See you next week. No, I'm joking. That's beautiful. That could be the core of what we're doing here. And then village bells. Oh, and Ollie's telling me I can map stuff to my keyboard, which I can, except I can't reach any of the stuff under here. I do have a fade though, so I may end up mapping it to the fade. This is good to know though. If you guys have some controls, I'll just show you how you can do this. It's very, very simple. Right click, I can learn MIDI CC automation, and I can choose any one of the controls I have here, and it will automatically map. If I move that control, it will map to it, and then that can control what I'm doing. So I may end up doing that, I may not. My keyboard's actually under my desk, most of it, so I never have access to half my keyboard. I'm getting a new setup soon, I hope, so that's going to fix everything. But I do have my fade, so I may end up mapping something to the fade. What's the reason made the instrument free? Yeah, we just wanted you guys to have something at no cost, and we, saw it as a great opportunity to try some stuff out, and that's all it is. There's really nothing more to it. You can go pick it up today, and yeah, get writing, see what you do with it. Okay, so let's just put all these three together and just see what they sound like together. I'm not suggesting that we use them all together, but let's just see what we think. Does this work as kind of one thing? And I'm just going to make sure I'm going to bring this view up just in case it gets a bit loud. I can turn things down. In fact, let me just maybe got a bit of extra gain on here because sometimes my OBS is a bit quiet. Just take that down a little bit, and if it starts to clip, let me know or I will hear it. Okay, let's have a listen. I mean, this is probably not something we're going to want all three playing together, but that's fine. We can layer them in. As long as we use all three, we can make it work. What do we think? What do we think that these sounds remind us of? Can we think of a type of film or a game? Could we maybe do like a game menu soundtrack? Could we do a scene from a film? Is there a particular type of film? Maybe something sci-fi, maybe something alien related? I don't know. What do you guys have any ideas? I'm going to have a listen to these a few more times. And I love the Children of June. It gives me, well, there we go. Donata's saying Children of June vibes. Maybe we could do something like that. I mean, this one's quite beautiful. Beautiful movement. Nice. These ones are a little bit darker. I mean, this one's very Children of June. I can already start to hear something here, and I think it might be involving the shakuhachi here. So maybe we will do something that's a little bit darker, maybe Children of June, or like a dark hue from kind of like an Avatar, like an otherworldly thing. I don't know. Maybe we'll do something like that, like a kind of slightly mournful piece, but maybe with a bit of hope in there at the end. All of these sound so beautiful. Thank you. Adam, move macro 1 on seasons change. So we've already done that, I think. We've heard it's pretty intense. And I will assign these at some point too, but in fact, let's just assign that one there. There we go. Nice. So now I can do this. Play some high chords on seasons change. Oh yeah, we got this whole other world. lost. Sorry, I'm on stream. I have to remember I'm on stream. This is exactly why I love stuff like this, because you just play and you instantly start hearing things. And yeah, these are all just presets. We've not changed anything. I mean, there's so much we could do. There will be other videos that go into some of this in a bit more detail, so we're not going to get through everything today, but there is a very powerful engine here that does a lot under the bonnet that you can change. You can map things, you can add envelopes, filters, you've got all these different things here. You can add effects. Some are already on here on this preset. You've got these different layers, so you can do this on a per layer basis as well. And you can assign all this to macros, so you can have everything moving. Piece written, job done. I agree. I mean, this is it. This is why you need Glade, right? You know, queue in a box. But I just love this way of working. You know, sometimes when you have a pure orchestra, it's great fun, and I love working that way, but it can be daunting because you're just like, where do I begin? Put a clarinet in, doesn't sound like anything. Put some strings in, doesn't sound like anything. After layering up six instruments, you're like, it's starting to sound like something. Here, I mean... I love it. This is going to be my favorite one. Yeah, we've got some good stuff going on. So I'm thinking, yeah, maybe a Children of June. We're just going to riff, but I'm thinking, let's imagine we were doing something for like, I don't know, like a Children of June game or something, some kind of June game. We're doing some kind of maybe like a map piece of music or something. So it's quite ethereal, but kind of good fun, I think. Adam, you need to turn the LFO tool on macro one for seasons change. Let's have a listen to this. So this is our LFO tool. Let me put this on. Do I have to assign it to anything here? Is it going to be assigned to anything? I don't actually know if it is, so maybe it's not going to work. If not, we'll maybe find something. Hold on. Let's figure this out. What are we doing here? So maybe I'm going to have to... Oh, we got LFO is the way, Ollie Trig. Yeah, Tom and Ollie are trying to get me to do the LFO, but I am not sure if it's actually on or assigned to anything here. So help me, guys. If I'm probably making a mistake here. Probably sure I have used this LFO, but oh, you can use this assign button here. Adam play. Oh yeah, there we go. Ignore that weird sound. That's just me. There we go. Let's just do that. See, if you've got the LFO, this automatically moves, and you can choose how much by, you can choose the shape. I've got quite a small, long 4-bar sequence here. Let's go 2 bars, faster. Or we could just do this. Let's get a dice on the go. There we go. That's cool, right? I actually preferred something a bit slower than that, but that's very cool. Trust me, it worked. It's cracking. Yeah, that was me going a bit crazy with the LFO. We need to go a bit slower here. I like that. Nice. Maybe we'll keep that on. Let's keep that on for now. Maybe we won't use quite as much of the amount. We'll get not quite as much movement, because you could have loads like this where it's going crazy. We'll maybe do something more like 30%. But let's leave that on and let's make it 4-bar. Real slow, nice evolving texture here. So there we go. Okay, cool. Let's have a little look at some of the other stuff in the library, because we have this sound designer, but I don't want you guys to think it's just sound designer. We have all these instruments as well. So we got these beautiful high strings. I mean, these sound great. And again, dynamic range. Was the mic cracking? Yeah, there might have been a bit of an overload. Maybe there was too much going on. Let me just take the volume gain here down a bit. This might help. I pushed everything because sometimes it's a bit quiet, but maybe it was getting a bit too loud. You'll hear some percussion. Yep, here we got some forest percussion. So we got some real nice, some cool shakery sort of stuff here. Really nice stuff. And then some slightly more transient sort of forest tree hits here. And then we got some more traditional percussion. So let me just show you guys what we have here. Open this up. We got some taiko stuff going on. We got a roll here. Roll. It's dynamic. So we can... And then we got some rim hits as well. And same thing. Rim rolls. Talking drums, lots of different pitches here, and then some risers. That's quite cool. Conga. Again, dynamic control rolls here. Very useful. Higher hit, higher roll. Then we have other stuff here too. Tablas. Same beautiful in this ball. Flam. Of course, I have reverb on here. I can take that off. Much sort of closer, drier sound. I really like the onboard reverb. I'm only going to use onboard reverb here today, I think. Do it, Chibello. Make a pure percussive piece. There's enough here. I mean, we've got loads more. We've got wood blocks up here. Again, lots of rolls and hits. We got these claves here. Tablas. And then shikari up here. That's cool. And that's nice. There we go. Beautiful. So we may use some of them today, maybe not. If we do, we might use them in a more sound designy way. We've also got these two harps. This is a really, really beautiful. Just open this up so you guys can see. It's a really beautiful sound. Put some reverb on this. Close this up so you can see it better. And then we've got some other great articulations here as well. Might use this because this is great. Hi Nosferatu, Jan saying instant Skyrim, yeah, definitely. And these Tonito retriggers, I love these as well, these are great. Here, just this lovely random texture. Again, instant results. Listen to that. And this is all just sort of programmed in these natural variances. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's have a look at a few more things as well. We got these orchestral woodwinds. These are great. So sustained. Very beautiful organic woodwind section. Sounds great. We've got short notes here as well. These can be very useful. Sounds great. And then again, these Tonito note stutters as well. Great for textures. I mean, you could do instant textures here. Let's just whack up the reverb on here. All the way up to here. Now it's almost like a pad. Beautiful. Pop them back to where they should be. Nice. I mean, that sounds great. Baldur's Gate 3, Beetlejuice vibes. Yeah, Beetlejuice, I definitely get where you're coming from there. We've got all these great solo woodwinds as well, which sound incredible. So let me just show you. What should we look at? Shakuhachi here. Let's just take a little look at this. I'm going to put the reverb at just a little bit, but not too much. So we got a bit more reverb here. Very cool. And staccato here as well. Beautiful. And then, of course, this classic sustained vibrato if you just want to do sort of melodies. And also the sends of vibrato, so much more smooth. And you can combine these really nicely. I'm doing it just by literally clicking, but you can't use key switches. They're down here. So very, very usable. You know, this is not just sort of one articulation, that's it. No. This is a full instrument here. You can make lots of really beautiful sounds. Let's have a look at one more and then we'll start writing maybe. What should we look at? I've got two shakuhachis here. I don't know why. That's just me doing my tempo wrong. Let's look at the name. This is quite an interesting one. Let's close that down so you can see it a bit better. Let's get some more reverb on here as well. These really sound great when they just sit in this kind of space. So SD Sheridan's asking what the difference between Glade and Glade Studio is. We have covered it, but I'll show you one more time very quickly for people that have only just joined us maybe. There's not much difference. The basic thing is they're both the same. They have the same content. You're not missing out whether you have one or the other. And of course, in the package, in the download, you get both at no cost. So it's not like you have to choose. But I'll show you. Basically, Glade has two mixes, really great sounding mixes. Or our modern mix, a bit more hyped. I'm using Classic today. Glade Studio has mic positions. So I could, if I wanted to, use Classic and Modern. They're here. Or I can use our slider or go to the advanced page and use individual mic positions here to get a different sound. Much closer. Or I can push them right back in the room. Take the reverb off. So that's the only difference. You have mic positions if you want them for Glade Studio. For Glade, it's the exact same thing, but no mic positions, just the mixes. So smaller footprint if you need that or you want that. And as I say, today I'm just going to use Glade because for my purposes, certainly most of the time, I think that would be enough. But I do love having the option of having Glade Studio if I ever want to make it blend with other libraries or just really get into the weeds with the positioning. Can we quickly listen to the voice patches? Of course, we haven't got to them yet, have we? Let's put a little bit of reverb on these as well. Not as much, but we'll make sure they're just sort of sounding beautiful. We have legatos and we also have sustains, so you can do chords or you can... Let's put a little bit of reverb on here, a bit of hall. Maybe something up around here. So that's the wonderful voice from Peter, and then we have Benedict here as well. Let's put some reverb on Benedict too and have a quick listen to Benedict. Just a slightly different timbre, obviously a different person, so a slightly different voice, but much the same approach. It sounds great. I love how it's sort of beautiful and fragile, very human. And then Peter doing the same thing. A little bit more strident, cuts through a little bit more, just very different. Both have massive uses, and you can also put them together if you want to. They can also be used in the presets as well. For a Fiara demo, let's do it. Let's have a little listen to that too. Again, I'll put a bit of reverb on here, but I won't drain it in reverb. Maybe let's just do that, just so you can get it sort of in a space. Nice. I get a staccato as well. Sounds great. There we go. So that's Fiara, and we'll try and get Rain to show in some more of these as well. I think we maybe very quickly see the pan pipes. Just have a little quick look at these as well. Again, these are crying out for just a bit of reverb. We won't go crazy, but first few notes of a Harry Potter piece there. We've got so much going on here. That's beautiful. I might use that today at some point if I can. Oh, that was my bad playing. This is just great. These are so useful. And as I said, I haven't fully looked into all these yet. I mean, I've done some work with Glade, but in terms of really diving in, there's so much here. I haven't actually had time to sit and play with it. So I'm kind of learning this as much as you guys are. Beautiful. I think that's great. Okay, let's maybe write something. And I said, we're going to keep it simple today. I'm thinking, as we said, some kind of Children of June, almost like if we were writing for a game, we were doing some kind of map music or just something that could be used in a menu or something like that. Make the same template as in this demo for a range of other doors. We could certainly look into that. I mean, and I can almost certainly make a template of some kind available for you if you would like that. So, okay. Wow, listen down there. It's just so cool. Oh, that's my OBS getting a bit overtaxed. Okay. Let's get a tempo in here. I'm thinking we've got to go. Let's listen to these. Okay, instantly I can hear I might want to filter these a little bit more. So I'm going to change the preset. Wow, I'm going to go in and do something with it. So let's find a little bit more filter there. And take this off solo, listen to this. See, I'm going through layer by layer. I'm choosing the layer, and then I can, per layer, change things. Yeah, I like that. A bit darker. I think I can use it like that. This is going to be a dark piece today. It's just the way things are turned out. I thought we were going to do a nice dreamy piece, but I think we're going to do something a bit darker. But we'll try and get some beauty in there as well. We don't want to make it too dismal. Voice over the planet Arrakis, Third Dynasty. Yeah, we're doing game. This is, you know, trying to survive in the harshness of Arrakis. So I'm just going to write, let's get a tempo. I think we're going to want something like, let's try 80, something like that. Even a little bit slower than that, maybe like 76. Let's do that. And you know what? We're going to start with a drone. We're just going to start with a drone. So I'm just going to write it in. I'm going to make it nice and simple on myself today. No, let's play it in. Let's play something in. Let's not be lazy. Make sure my click is good to go here. Yep, nice. Okay. Oh, I love that swell at the end. That's just in, I think it's that LFO. Just that LFO moving us up and down. But that was just instant cinema in there. There's only one thing I want to do. I stopped playing our low D. I don't want to stop playing it. I just want that to drone all the way through. Cool. Yeah, I think this is cool. What have we got here? I mean, this is just perfect for certain points here and there. And we got a nice long tail. What I'm going to do is just take out some of the tonal elements, leave the bells, so... Yeah, that's going to come down. So we just got more bells. Oh, there's so much here. I feel like you just play. I don't have to do anything, I can just play. Okay, so... let's maybe open this up. I can sort of just see as I'm going through here. Okay. Start again. I'm just going to use this to pepper in some sounds here and there. So it's going to be down a little bit in the mix, but at certain points I think I can put it in. Here we come to our major. Nice. Cool, that works for me. That's sounding pretty nice. We can always refine if we need to. Shabella says we need the Fiara in this. I think so. I think we need a really... Let's put the hole on. What have we got here that we can... This is great here. We can maybe get that in there at some point. Let's just... Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to copy and paste our sort of melody that we have here. I'm just going to put it on a VR and we're going to use that as a starting point. So, there we go. Nice and straightforward. Let's make sure that's all in range for the VR. Nice, that should work. Let's see what we've got. Let's just start there. You know what? Let's try an octave higher. Maybe up there. We'll see. We'll see. There might be a bit much, but let's bring it down in the mix and then just see. Yeah, that's a bit much. We don't want it down there. We're going to have it here. Maybe we'll use some pan pipes or something. You know what? I think we can get like a choir in here. Do you know what I might do? Let's have fun with this. Let's go to sustain. How to sustain if we pitch it down an octave? Because we're doing sort of Children of Doom, so we've got this beautiful voice, but we can sort of make it weirder. Maybe let's just keep it where it is. I don't know. I think let's keep it. Yeah, maybe there. Maybe just do something with it. Maybe a call and response. Yeah, let's see if that works. Let's try it. Maybe there, and then up to that. Maybe something like that. Tom's recommending a pad called Breathe Deep. Are we allowed to use a pad that wasn't in the list? Are we allowed to do that? What do you think, chat? Is that allowed? We need to use this pad. You know what? This? Well, if Tom insists. Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're opening this up. What did Tom say it was called? Where is it? Tom wrote, Breathe Deep. I think I know the one. It is a really good pad. Let me close that down. Let's find it. Breathe Deep, Breathe Deep, Breathe Deep. So pads. There it is. Let's have a listen to this. Oh, listen to that. Beautiful. Let's just maybe get that in. Get some upper frequencies here. Nice. It's got all this great texture going on. Right, so what I'm going to do is maybe just change this a bit. Yeah, these here, let's see if we can get the envelope on. Really get a release here. So when I take my finger off, we get a nice long release there. So we can sort of have this gradual fade. Nothing sort of ends. If we take the release all the way down, finishes much quicker. Here. Beautiful. Something like that I think is going to work. So let's just, I think I'm going to just start at the same time with it straight in, because it gives us these upper sort of frequencies that we're maybe missing from the lower pads. Okay. Nice. And we got to have at the end there. So let me just really bring in a lot of that reverb. Let's use Peter. So real nice there, yeah. So I'm just going to do that at the end. I know I want that in there at the end, I think. Video Drum says, thinking ahead, it'd be really nice if that Breathe Deep pad could double up on the melody of the solo vocal when the track lands on the major chord. So let's maybe do that. Let's do it. Do we have... Yeah, we could do that. Let's do it. So let's just take what we've got with Peter here. And we'll also put it on the strings. That's going to reinforce it a lot. But I think it's a good idea. Let's put it on the season change as well. Was it season change we said? Oh, the deep pad. Breathe Deep. Sorry. It's this one here. I think it's a good idea. I reckon that would be cool, but like floating in space. Everything's sort of floating in space here, right? And we're not going to use any plugins or anything today, so we're going to achieve all of this just with inboard stuff, but we need... I mean, this sounds glorious without the reverb, just as really nice. Beautiful, but for this... I want a little bit of hope in there. I don't want it to get too dirgy. You know, Glade is a beautiful instrument, so I want to get some of that in there. So let's just maybe turn this down a bit. Okay. Yeah, something like that. Quieter though. We just want it tinkling away in the background there. Can we pan the pads? We certainly could. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's take a listen to... We want this one pad to be central, so Seasons Deep. And maybe these Village Bells and Breathe Deep. Maybe we'll just get a little bit... We don't want to go crazy. We don't want to put them sort of completely left and right. But maybe if we do something like that. Let's have a listen to how it sounds. We can always put it back if we don't like it. Nice. One thing I want to do while I'm here. So this Season's Deep. I think I want to try and slow the attack of this here. Just that there, I think. Let's get the envelope and slowly attack. Just to give us not quite so harsh an entrance in. Something like that, maybe. We're definitely going to get those higher strings in there, right? We're definitely going to want them in there. Again, everything needs to be a little bit more reverby. We don't want everything swimming. We want to choose the instruments that we have more reverby, but everything needs to be in a bit more space. Let's take the whole, but not quite as intense. Ollie's saying, try Blackthorn. Let's take a little look at Blackthorn. We've completely abandoned the 3 presets because we're having so much fun with presets, but that's okay. Let's close that down. Okay, Blackthorn. Where is Blackthorn? So there it is. Yeah, this could work. But you know what? Let's take this room reverb out. Let's maybe choose something better here. So maybe we've got like, I don't know, the Aurora or something here. Yeah, that could work, because maybe we don't want this to be too drowned in reverb, otherwise the whole thing's going to become messy. Yeah, we're definitely going to get around to mixing or anything today. Let's have a little listen to that. Oh, nice, yeah. Ollie's saying play low range. Yeah, we've definitely got some cool stuff here. Let's go back to here. Got anything going on? Not too much there. Nice. Yes. We're getting it in there. Just gonna see what we can do. Yeah, I think we'll keep all this fairly low because there's still a lot of high-end energy here. Okay, here comes our big D major. Nice, I think that works. Let's just do a little balance here, just... Nice. We definitely want... In fact, we've got tremolos on these strings. No, go away. There will be no mixing today. So maybe this sustained tremolo blend. This might be cool. Nice. Quiet. We don't want this too crazy. Oh, by the way as well, I can, of course, extend the range of these things if I want to. This is another very useful feature. So go up to a certain range. If that's not high enough for you, just extend the range a bit. Let's see what that sounds like. Sounds great to me. Super useful. Great way of just extending the range of things. You know, we have a natural range, but if you want to add on, you can get quite far. I wouldn't recommend going, you know, loads up to octaves or anything like that, but a few extra tones if you really need them, sound very, very natural. So we're going to use them, I think. So maybe just... Let's just play something in, but quieter. We don't want them to be too... Nice, but we're going to need some mod wheel in there. Let's just write that in. I didn't put any mod wheel in, so let's go from here. In fact, let's take that back a bit because we don't really want to start mid-bar. We kind of want to start there, which is very quiet, I think. Easy way of doing this. Great, just paste that in. Need a bit of refining, but we'll worry about that at the end. And we'll just make sure we go to the end of the bar there. Okay, turn that down a tiny bit, just make sure it gets in. Shabella asked, will we add some sort of percussion? I think we should. Let's take a look what we've got here. Probably going to need this percussion to be pretty reverby to fit in, otherwise they'll just sound a bit flat. But let's see how much we can get away with. Don't go crazy. Maybe slightly less. Maybe we can go down an octave. Let's try it. Let's go down 2 octaves. Maybe let's go down 1, just see what we think. Ooh. That's kind of cool. That could work. Maybe no wood blocks. Ooh. That's quite cool. Downloading Glade Share as we speak. Awesome. Yeah, definitely get writing with it and show us what you guys can do with it. I'm gonna record this out. Just see what we can do with that. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I think recording it out's not cheating. You can do this almost any door. We're still using the source as we found it. But let's just take a little listen, make sure I don't blow your eardrums off. I have a limiter on, so there shouldn't be too much crackling, but occasionally OBS does go a bit crazy. Oof. See how we made a much bigger drum now? Okay. That's cool though. Some of that solo vocal earlier on would be nice. I agree. Yeah, it's coming in too late. We just sort of sketched it in for now. Let me do something nice and curvy here. So let's have a listen to everything else. Oh, another thing I want to show you guys. I always like to show this tricks. I learned it and I never knew about it before. If you're on Cubase, if you're not, it doesn't matter. But you can change the sample start point to make sure that you're always lining up with the transients here. So now when I lock things, it locks to that bar. Just a little Cubase tip if you're on Cubase. Okay, let's have a look what we've got here. Oh, let's save while we're here. We should probably save. Have a moment to have a cup of tea. Was this created from samples that were not in other AI libraries? Yet we've only used Glade today, and we haven't even used any outboard reverb or anything. I'm trying to just keep everything Glade. We have exported this, but we've not treated it. We've just taken it out of Glade. It's just a bit easier to work with hits when they're kind of exported. But yeah, my aim today is just use Glade. We were going to use 3 presets, but we all got very excited by the presets, and we've ended up using 4 or 5. Have we used this one yet? I don't think we have. This is one of our originals, so got to get that in there. We'll definitely find a way of getting that in there. Yeah, we'll figure that out. Okay, let's just see if we can fit this in. Just quiet. We don't want it to be too crazy. It's actually slightly off there. That's fine. That's just me not doing very good with the sample start. Cool. Glade is just Glade. Yep, it's just one thing, but in 2, slightly different variations. But we've gone over. It's just basically one is a smaller one with no mic positions, so it's just the classic and modern mix. But they're the same content. You're not losing out by choosing one or the other. Of course, you can have both if you want. So, yeah. drum rolls in leading. We should probably do a drum roll. We do have some great drum roll stuff here. So let's see. We need to... Nice. Let's record that out as well, should we? So, just mute everything else, just solo this, so we've just got this. Nice. Now we can work with this however we want. Render with those settings. We don't need all that tail. Make this nice and big. Cool. So we can just sort of have that nicely go into there. We'll make sure it all sort of fits. At the moment it's probably a bit messy, but that's cool. Okay, let's have a listen to those two together. Bring this up a bit. We don't want to go too crazy with it, so maybe a bit loud. Yes, something like that. Maybe we do want a bit more of a tail there. So maybe something like this. Yeah, we can just fix those transients up so they're a little bit more even. Or we could just take it all together and just go from the drum roll. Maybe we want to do something more like that. That could work, yeah. Okay, cool. Let's just have a listen to what we've got. We'll need to do more work, but we've got 45 minutes left yet. Get some higher stuff going on here. Make sure it's down in the mix though. See if we like this. Maybe we'll bring it in later. I like the darkness at the beginning. Maybe we'll do a little drum roll at the end as well. We can always move that along. Nice duplication there. Make sure we get it sort of right to that end. Maybe we just end with that big downbeat. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Let's try it. Could be a bit much. I'll just copy that. Take it down so it's a little bit more in keeping with everything else. There we go. Nice. Yeah, I think that works well. We'll probably get a bit more percussion in as we go as well. Okay. Yes. Shabello says about the call and response. We should do something more with the boy vocalist. Let's see what we can do. We need to change that there. Okay. I've got it, I think. Let's just go back from that point. So what did we do there? Round bar 8, we did the... Okay, cool. Nice, cool, that's cool. And you know what we can do here? We just need to get a little harmony there. Yeah, they've got quite some lungs on them there, haven't they? Let's have a listen to see what we think of that. It's not really a harmony, it's just the root note being underpinned by the Benedict voice, you know. Ooh, maybe. I think that maybe. Okay, got an idea. Getting excited. Let's do it. Sun rises, yeah. Dawn on Arrakis. Where the Glade boys have a Brandon's breath control. Yeah, maybe we'll build in a couple of pauses. We can always refine, because yeah, asking a poor boy soloist to sing a note for 56 seconds or something is probably tad unfair. But we can take advantage of this. If not, we can always put a little breath in there if we really want to make it more realistic. Okay, I think, what have we got in this shakuhachi? We had some really nice... Like, I feel some of these little flourishes here and there might work. Let's just play and let's just try something. Nice. Cool, that works. I think we could just have a little bit more. try that. Oh. Except it should be an F sharp, not a G. Otherwise it ruins the whole major feel. Brassy note. You know what? Let's see if we can find something that has a feel that might work. What's verified mischief? No, that's a bit cute. Let's see if we can find... Possibly. Let's try... What? Oh, I think I made this one. Maybe. It could be a bit dark, though. What about Sevastopol? Sounds very... Oh, another great one, but no, a bit dark. Let's see if we can find something that's... Moving moss. Okay, so this isn't brassy as such, but look, we might be able to do something with this. So this might work. Something like this might work. And maybe something like that. Maybe something like that could work. Let's just put it in and we can always take it if we don't think it works. A bit much there, but we're getting the idea. Okay. Let's see if this works an octave down. Ooh, that could be the one. But we need to make sure it doesn't get too crazy sort of volume-wise. Let's just turn it down inside of contact here. Be a bit lazy, but that might work. Let's take a look. Pulse get faster. Well, we do have, we do have something that might work there. I'm not sure if it's the right sound, but let's try it. I know we've got this really great, I think Tom made this great preset called Gestures, which I think he used in his demo. I think I might use a little bit in mine as well. There we go. Okay. We've gone from 3 presets to many presets, but that's fine. It's all about fun. So, this is... This could work, right? This might work. Let's see if we can make it work. Let me just assign that macro a second. This could work. We're on the right path. I mean, we might get it all done today, but we're going to get the basics, the ideas in, I think. Okay, so... So go back in a second. Okay, let's mix that in a bit because it's a bit quiet at the moment. Let's make sure we got kind of a smoother ramp down to there. Let's do a bit of mixing here. So this was our previous distorted pad. It's Blackthorn. Actually, it was this one, wasn't it? Let's bring this down so I can sort of have these together. Okay, let's just have that sort of faster for longer here. Bring it down. Let's just make sure. Yep, so we want to go from high to low. That's cool. Maybe we do something like that instead. Let's just try it. Just put these, make sure they're all sort of to the bar here. I think something like that kind of works. Okay, are we getting faster there? Let's see if we can go even faster there. Can we go crazy here? Can we do it? Can we do it? Maybe not. Let's take a look. Okay, maybe that'll work. That's my OBS can't get there. Sorry, guys. A bit. There we go. Let's keep it there. I think that's too high. So we can really bring up the volume of that at the end, I think. Cool. Let's just have a little listen and see where we're at. It's not going to be 100% perfect, but we're kind of getting there, I think. Let's fix these up because I played these in not very well, to be honest. So let's just write these in as we need them to be. Get the same thing there. Just want that coming in a little bit sooner, otherwise it sounds a bit weird. I just think... Yeah, I think we need a counter melody in there earlier. Nice. Let's try and get some strings in there. We got them at the end, but I think we're going to need them coming in. Yeah, we can move something like that. The reason why that was going weird there is because it's reading my old mod wheel data. Look how messy it's all going to be now. It's all joined together. See? So that's easy enough to fix. Okay. Let's keep that note going. There's no reason to change it there. Turn this down a tiny bit just because we don't want these to be sort of too prominent. Can we add a male choir? Well, we don't have one in Glade. Maybe we'll add one though. Maybe we'll see. We'll see if we got time, or maybe we'll just add something from Chorus or something. But I did want to try and keep it all Glade, so maybe we'll find a workaround. We'll find something choir-like in the presets. Nice. You know what? We're going to keep those going to the end. And we can really just sort of hammer that crescendo home there, I think. And then a little swell down, or not, just decrescendo, I suppose, down, and then swell back up to really make sure we get that ending. Cool. Let's have a listen to where we're at. I think we're in a pretty good place. It's definitely a little bit rough and ready, but I think for, I don't know, maybe an hour's work now, we got something pretty good, and it's all down to just how easy this thing is to use. We've pretty much just used presets. We've done a tiny tweak on them, add a few extra instruments. Everything's in the box, so there's no extra reverbs or anything like that. It would sound a lot better if we polished it, but that's fine. We're just going for vibe at the moment. think I might add those harps. I quite like them. Here's what we were doing. It's just this patch here, these tenuto retriggers. So there's already this kind of random sort of thing built in here. I think it might just work as we go through. So I'm just going to play them in. We'll go through it again and just play them in. That sounds pretty good to me. We'll just take that back a bit. We just want to not hear them right at the very end, otherwise they'll poke out a bit. Yes, sorry, by the way, Cubase is what I'm using. You can do this in any DAW, but you know, in fact, we've not used any of Cubase's features today really, other than the rendering to audio of some of the samples, but you can do that in pretty much any DAW. And you wouldn't have to render to audio, it just makes it easier to see. So this is all really just Glade. I mean, any DAW would do this, any DAW that has, you know, MIDI functionality, which is pretty much every DAW. I wanted today to not try and make it too much about any one DAW, because the whole idea is this is available to everyone, whatever you're working, whether it's Ableton, FL Studio, whether it's Logic, Cubase, Studio One, whatever it might be. You can do anything you want with Glade. Anything we've done here today easily with Glade, and a lot more as well. Okay, I'm going to push these high strings at the end. Let me just show you. I think this will help. Just a little volume push. Again, this is anything you could do in a DAW. I'm just riding the volume, but I think it's going to help. Nice, that works. And you know what? I think we can get these low strings in at the end, right? Just wanted to save them for the end, but I think it's going to give us a bit more impact into that final chord. Could we build a low-end choir? I'm not sure it's going to work, but let's try it. Let's just see what happens, right? Let's duplicate this. Let's just see. I think it might sound, because their voices are sort of quite childlike, it might sound a bit weird, but who knows? Maybe it's going to sound weird in a good way. Maybe it's not. Let's try. Let's go right down and just see what we get. You know what? Hey, you know what? That's not bad. Maybe a bit low. Let's try an octave up, see what we get here. Let's try the ooze. I think it could work, you know. Maybe just the D note here, the pitch. Let's try it. We really need to bring it up in the mix here. but that could work. Again, we're not doing any EQ today, so some of this is going to be a bit muddy. We could definitely tidy this up with some EQ, but today's all of it just vibing with Glade. We're not going to worry too much about anything. Yeah, we got a bit of horror in here now. Let's see how it works. Just on this last note, maybe, or this last chord. Oh, wrong note. I was imagining them to be low and they were. Try it again. Maybe we just end on that low choir. That could be cool, right? We just fade out with that kind of weird low choir we just created. And of course, the other thing to say about this is that if you wanted, you could make your own presets. So all of the instruments that are available as these standalone instruments, you could put into the preset designer, you can layer them up, you could tune them, you could use LFOs to change the macros and things. You could do so much. So if we had time, we could maybe take this in to the preset designer, combine it with a really low VR or something, layer it up, create something really crazy. Okay, let's see what we think of this ending here. Yeah, I quite like that as a kind of... And then maybe we just keep that thing going at the end. Was it this one here? Let's have a little fade out here. That might work. Yeah, I like that. I feel like it's a bit like an end of a game cut sequence or something. Yeah, we could maybe look at some high. Let's see if we can get something. We don't have a symbol in here, but we do have things that we might be able to work. Wow, not that. Well, I don't know. Actually, that might be cool. Let's just see. Hold on a second. This could give us some of that. Maybe, let's see if we can get some kind of shake or something here. We could cheat. We could cheat a little here. Let's try it. We could cheat a little here. Okay. This is a slight cheat, but it's not really that much of a cheat because, again, this is something you can do in pretty much any door. Let's do it. Cool. So we've got that. Render that in place. We're slightly breaking our rules here, but kind of not really because there's nothing here that you won't be able to do in any door. In fact, a lot of doors will do this a lot easier than Cubase. Let's process, reverse. So what we did is we took that hit, we put a big reverb on there, and then we reversed it. That should give us something like that. But what we're going to have to do is duplicate, re-reverse it again. Let's just try that. There we go. New version. And then I'm just going to duplicate that track. It's just so we get a tail here because we don't want it to kind of fade out to nothing. So where does this have to go? Let me just get the timings right on this. Let's see if we can make this work. It's not a cymbal roll, but it kind of fills a similar function. So I'm just going to want that as a kind of tail, I think. So fade in around there, and then a sort of fade out. Let's just see how that sounds in isolation, and then we'll see if it works in the mix. Could work. I think we need to sort of try and get rid of that, stop any like kind of dry sounds from being in here. Again, this would be super easy if we were using, you know, reverbs and stuff, but I really just want to use Glade alone today. I think that's a good challenge. We've kind of broken it slightly, but again, not really. Audio processing is kind of part of it, I think. Let's see if that works. It's kind of interesting, right? Not sure quite fits, but you know what? I think it's going to do for now. Okay. It kind of helps, I think. One more thing we may do, you know what, is come back to our atonal percussion and just get a normal roll in here. So there's not just this low roll, we just got a normal roll too. Should listen to that in isolation and then bring it up in the mix. Let's just smooth that out a bit. There we go. And then let's see what else we got. We've got... Let's see. We could do a low roll here. See if that works. So is that... Yes, something like that. Let's just see if they work. Maybe take some of the reverb off this so it's not too swimmy. We have Benjamin, our no-cost library, free library, Glade. You can download it today if you want. We're just messing around with it, seeing what we come up with, having some fun. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what all of you do with this as well. That says, Finna, try it now. Cool, that's great. Okay, let's just see. We don't want quite a big ramp there, so let's just try that. We'll just use a bit of volume control to sort of get that where we want it. It might just help the drums poke through. We've got about 5 minutes left, so we're not going to completely finish this, but I think we're in a pretty good place for an hour and a half's worth of kind of jamming. And yeah, we probably would benefit. You know what? We're just going to break our rule for this last thing. I think you're right. We should definitely get... Let's just use Cubase as stock, so we're not really cheating here. Let's just do a high pass. Or a low pass, I should say. Let's just try and sort of get... I think that's more like it. So copy that. Paste that into here. So we've got the same things. Oh, I've done the wrong thing there. 1 second. Copy EQ settings. Paste EQ settings. There we go. So that should give us slightly less of a high end, you know, where it's a bit poking out a bit. I think that works. Legally Not Arrakis. Yep, that's the name of this track. Legally Not Arrakis. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. Definitely could do some more work, but you know what? Let's have a listen through, see if there's any more things we could just add in quickly. It was only going to be 1 or 2 more things, but I might just try and get... we haven't got any Duduk in here. I don't think we've heard anything today. wonder if, and again, let's get our range in here. Let's put that up to the high D, and then we can do it here. That might give us something at the end that we're missing. Maybe. Let's see. We're going to need a bit of reverb. It's going to be too dry otherwise. But I think that's a nice amount. We don't want it to be absolutely sort of caked in that reverb. Let's just see. And again, we're going to need to be sort of here, I think. Brassiness. Cool. I think that kind of works. Take it back a tiny bit. I'm just going to do a little bit of volume automation here, just to sort of do the same thing we're doing. Just dip it down a tiny bit and then bring it back up at the end to give us a bit of crescendo. Okay, so unmixed, pretty much straight out of the box. We cheated very slightly, but not really. We did a tiny bit of EQ here, and we also did some rendering to audio. But to be honest, only to make things easier, the only thing we did cheat slightly on was reversing these forest percussion to make them more cymbal-like. I think that's fair. There's nothing here that you can't do in any DAW. You don't need anything else other than Glade to do this and a DAW, which you would have needed anyway. So I think we're sort of hitting our major marks here. Can do the reverse cymbal, put more reverb on it. Are we going to allow ourselves to put reverb on the end? Should we do it? Come on, let's do it. Why not? Okay, let's just put a reverb on. Nice inexpensive reverb, and we'll do the same thing here, and then we'll just mix them in, and that is going to be that for the day. I think wherever we're at, it's not going to be perfect, but we've got something going on. Okay, cool. Let's just similar. Well, I'm glad you think I didn't cheat. But yeah, we've ended up using a reverb, but it's an inexpensive reverb. I love these. And in fact, we could have done this in Glade. It just would have meant me having to go back and change the reverb and export. For the sake of time, we're just doing it like this. Cool. I think that works more. Let's just make sure they're mixed in. Yeah, I think that works. I think that works. Not perfect, but it will do. Okay, let's have a listen from the beginning and just see where we ended up. As we say, it's not 100% there, but I think this is like vibe composing. You know, you get vibe coding these days. We're vibe composing. We're just going on vibes, having fun with the presets, seeing what we can come up with quick and dirty with absolutely no brief through to something that sounds pretty decent. And it's all thanks to Glade. And of course, it's all using a free library, which is great. Not too bad. Ollie said we maybe do this next week, so maybe we will. Maybe we'll finish this up and spend a bit of time you know, with all the bells and whistles and everything that we want to put on there, and just sort of fix it. It's a bit messy, but we've got something, right? For an hour's work, we've got, what have we done? Like a minute and a half nearly of a track. And thanks to Glade, it's all sounding pretty good. It's certainly got the vibe, right? It's missing some of the finesse, but the vibe is there. As Shabella said, Glades of Sakara. Yeah, that's what we're doing here. So this is our Glades of Sakara from our new Glade franchise. I want this to play every time I come home and walk in. Hey, I'll make it available on our Discord if you want when it's all finished. And if you want to make it your ringtone or play it every time you walk in, you'll be more than welcome. Needs more cowbell. I agree. Yeah, maybe we need a cowbell update. But yeah, I hope this has been a decent introduction. We didn't even use the woodwinds. We barely used the harps. We've still got Nay to use. Maybe we can get that in there. We've still got about 72 presets or something that we could have used, and as I said, every single one of these presets you can make your own or completely customize these. You can change the instruments in these, so you can see every instrument that we've got. You can change. There's going to be videos about this, you know, so you'll get more information, tuning, panning, and then you've got the layers. You've got so much going on here. Envelope filters, you can map things so you can get instantly playable stuff, effects for every single layer. It just, there's so much in here, and we just pretty much use stuff out of the box, and to my ears it sounded great with a bit of finesse. I think it would be very cool. Okay, we're going to head back to Just Chatting and wrap up and say goodbye, but thank you so much for joining me. I shall see you in Just Chatting where we'll wrap up. Cool, that was really good fun. I absolutely love just having a couple of hours to just write something, you know, vibe it out, see what comes, and especially with a new library, and especially with a library that you can get for nothing. So yeah, if you haven't got this yet, download it. The big thing is we would love to hear what you do with it. So if you're not on our Discord, sign up to our Discord. It's a great place for learning. You can also share everything you do. You can share stuff you do with Glade. It doesn't have to be Glade. It can be anything that you're doing. But if you are working with Glade and you make something cool and you want to share it, please do, because this is obviously our newest library and we would love to hear what people are doing with it. And because it's available for everyone, even more so, we just want people to have fun with this. The whole engine is so great. The sound designer is incredible. And then you've got a whole orchestra pretty much there to play with as well. So yeah, it's a really, really great library. I've had a lot of fun with it. Every day I use it, I'm learning it more and more. And I'm really excited to see what everyone's doing with it. Thank you guys. I'm really glad that you're enjoying it. Bididrum says the twinkle saying towards the end gave me chills. That's great. Made me think of the Goonies. I love it. I love the Goonies. And if I can make anybody reminisce about the Goonies, my job is done. How do you get on the Discord? So the link to the Discord will be in the description of this video and other videos as well. So you'll find a little link to the Discord. Join in. It's free. You just have to be on Discord. And there's a whole community there. It's growing every week. You can post stuff. You can get help. You can get feedback. You can collab with people. Any questions you have, you can ask, and there's a whole bunch of composers. We're on there as much as we can be as well, so we will definitely dip in, and I'm listening to everything that's being put on there, not always as quickly as I like, but I am listening to everything. So if you put stuff up on the self-promo or the music feedback, I do listen to it, and I try and get involved when I can. Brandon says, thanks so much for this. I'm playing with it now. It's beautiful. Thank you, Brandon. I'm really glad you like it. Super excited to see what you do with it as well. Gave me Battlestar Galactica 2000 vibes. I will be very happy if I can give anybody Battlestar Galactica vibes. So I'm really glad it did to you. So I should use my eyeballs. So no, it is a little bit buried in the description, but yeah, if you look in there somewhere, it is in there. So yes, it is. You know, you have to have a search, but it will be there. There are paid plugins available, not so good. Well, I'm really glad that you're finding it useful. And as I said, I'm just so thankful that we could give this to you guys. And as a composer who loves hanging out with fellow composers, I'm genuinely excited to hear what you guys do with it. And also, if you haven't checked out the demo tracks for Glade, check them out. They'll give you a bit more of an idea of what the library can do. And there are some beautiful ones in there. Obviously, Tom's is incredible one in the trailer, but there's some other composers who have done demo tracks, and they are incredible. So check them out because it really shows off the range of the library. We've done something pretty dark and intense today, but this library also does beautiful, delicate, evocative. It can be organic, it can be textural. It can do so much. So yeah, do check out the demos and download and get stuck in. Thank you. Glad we captured the cinematic sci-fi sound. Yeah, we randomly chose those presets, but they definitely led us in a certain direction, and we went with it. And thank you guys for all your suggestions on how to improve the piece. I love kind of co-composing with you guys, and we don't get to incorporate everything, but it's really, really cool to hear what you guys think we should do, and we managed to get some of those ideas in there as well. Okay, so we'll be back next Tuesday, I'm sure. Maybe we're going to finish off this track, it sounds like. In the meantime, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube, please do so. It really helps us out, and there's a lot of good content on there now, and we've got more coming, so it will help you to know when we've got stuff coming. If you're not on the Discord, do join up, because that's a growing community and a great space to share stuff and get some advice and give some advice and generally just hang out with composers. And of course, the big one today, if you don't have Glade, do download it. It is free. It's available for no cost. Go on the Audio Imperia website. If it's a bit slow or not quite responding, apologies. It's just turned out to be a really popular product, which we're very happy for. And we're working to make the site as robust as possible. But if it's not quite working, just check back a bit later. I'm sure it'll be up and running and you'll be able to get your Glade. We saw Addo's emo side today. Yeah, I wish I had a emo fringe that I could sweep, but I definitely don't have a fringe or anything else going on there. So just have to imagine me with my emo fringe. Cool. Going to score something with it right after the stream. Awesome. And yeah, share it with us. Tell us, your inspiration. Share what you do. I'm so excited to hear what you guys do with this. Every time I hear a demo, it's something different. Someone else interprets the library in a different way. They find something about it that I haven't found, or Tom didn't find, or the others didn't find. We've all come to this library and found different ways of using it. And that's going to be true when you all get your hands on it as well. So that's going to be a great experience to see how everybody uses this library, what they find in the library, and how it inspires you. Great. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye and go and have some dinner, and then save this track and maybe continue it next week. That will be fun. Thank you so much for joining me. I really, really do appreciate it. It was great fun to compose with you all. Go download Glade and show us what you do with it. In the meantime, happy composing. Hope you all have a great day, and I shall see you soon. Take care and bye-bye.